Speed reading by Андреев.
Go to a bookstore. You have to do it, like, there are little things, but you can't, you have to implement everything, otherwise your speed goes down. First of all, you have to stand. I don't know why, but standing works much better than sitting. So you
It's more.
you emulate a natural process. Let's say you have a problem. You go, like, you want to learn sales, let's say, or marketing, or anything else. You go to a bookstore, there's usually a bookshelf of books on the subject. You don't know which ones are better. You really don't. Like, you can see Google rank, you can see Amazon.com rank, but you can't know which one will help you. But there are 40 books, let's say. So what you do in the first run, you spend one minute, 1 to 3 minutes, depends on your speed, on your natural speed. But you spend a minute on each book. What you do? Does anybody have a book? Let me show you.
No, we don't read.
Okay, but
I don't have any freeware.
This
Sounds a lot
okay.
like that.
Let's say if this is a book. Let's say if this is a book. Let's say if this. So what you do? You take a book, you read cover from here, and you read table of contents. Like really read it, and then you just go through a book, just looking. You have to. Your mind has to remember where everything is. You wouldn't remember, like, logically you wouldn't remember shit from it. But your mind, no, consciously, the only thing you have to remember is table of content and where everything is physically. And you go through 40 books and you don't remember a thing. It's a mess in your head. And that's good. That's your first day. That's what you do. Then next day you go to the same store, you go to the same when you go through the 40 books the first time, in your head you have to rank them from 0 to 10. 10 meaning this is the best book ever, I'm definitely gonna buy it and learn and read it 5 times. 0 meaning I would never touch it, even if somebody would pay for it. So out of 40 books, about 5 to 10 books will be above 7 level. So will be what you actually want. Then, second day, you work only with them. You spend 15 minutes, you have to have a timer with you. You spend 15 minutes a book. What you do, again, cover, table of content, and then you start flipping pages, but slowly. So you read only highlights, you read, like, whatever grabs your attention, that's what you read. You don't read the book. You just, again, going through the same motions, going like this, okay, remember that. Reading a bit and keep going. 15 minutes a book. So sometimes it takes 20, 25, but usually 15 is good. And you go through 5, 7 books, whatever have a rating of 7 and more. So that's second. Again, you have a mess in your head. You don't remember it. You remember vaguely something, but really can't use the information. Then you have to lay off for a day. It has to cool off. 4th day, you go back, you take a book that you want from those 5, and you actually read it. So you just take a book and start reading it. What happens? Your mind thinks you already read it twice. So to you it's rereading. Speed will be at least 2 times faster. Usually, if you are a slow reader, you'll have 2.5 times improvement in speed over your normal reading. People that spend 8 hours, usually average book is 8-hour reading time, consumes 6 to 8 hours, usually 8 hours. I rarely see a person that spends over an hour on a book this way. That's it. You don't have to push yourself, you don't have to force yourself. It's very logical. Plus, you go through entire bookshelf of information. You do it in like 3-4 days. So 1 week, if you concentrate on doing 1 subject a week, you can do through entire store in a month, or in 2 months, in 3 months. That's it.
Is this the Bachelor?
Yep.
Nice.
Hey. We were talking about you. That's it. That's your speed reading. It's logical. It doesn't involve any mind controlling techniques. It's just from an engineer, and it's effective.
That makes sense.
How you came up with this?
I want to learn more. I want to read more. In 2001, I was buying books from Russia because of the crisis. The book prices were $2 $3 was the most expensive book. So I bought thousands of books. I bought everything on business, everything on marketing, everything, like everything. And then when they came, I realized I have to read them. Like, and I don't have time because I have active business, I have a family, I have kids, but I want to read all of them. So I started going, at least I said, I don't have time. And I understand if I would start reading them, 2 lifetimes would not be enough. Because there are like 10,000 books or 7,000 books. I said, okay, I'm just gonna glance through them. So I started doing that, and that's how it all boiled down to that system.
Very good. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Rich Sheffrin put out a series of videos about how his process is. It's similar. It's a little more technical, but it's crazy. And he eventually gets to the speed reading.
Yeah, but his process
it's the third or fourth or fifth time he's gone through it. So
What's his process?
Well,
exactly the same thing he just said. So he takes a book and he'll sit down with like 6 or 7 books at a time. He'll go through a highlighter and he'll highlight certain things that he thinks are valuable through it. Whip through a book in half an hour. And then he gives a book to his team who rips the covers off of the book, runs it through a color scanner, scans both sides of the books, sends it off to the Philippines and gets it all redacted so just pulls up the pieces that he wants, turns it into an EPUB that he then throws onto his iPad, and then he grabs one of the speed reader, the quick reader things, whatever else, sets it up at 2,000 words a minute, does it while he's on his exercise machine, his elliptical machine, he's on his elliptical machine with some oxygen on his head, goes through at 2,000 words a minute while he's doing it, so the whole book just flips like that, and then in an hour, so he works out for an hour, then he goes through it at 3,000 words a minute, then he goes through it at 4,000 words a minute, then he goes back through it again at 2,000 words a minute, and he gets it all. But he goes through 2 or 3 books a day that way.
Wow. So he's reading at 2,000?
Reading at 2,000 words a minute, which takes him maybe...
I can do that.
Maybe 8-9 minutes.
Wow.
It's complicated. Sounds complicated.
Yeah.
But the thing about
2,000 words a minute to do it.
the reason why that works is because when you look at a book, we're taught to sub-vocalize words, right? But with speed reading, if you just look at a page, your mind sees all of the words. So the sub-vocalization actually slows you down. So you have to sort of retrain yourself. So these different processes is really allowing your mind to go over the same data over and over. Because if someone takes a book and just opens it up like that and you look at it, in your mind you see all the words. You just have to, it's just
but the process
orienting
is
your
frustrating.
mind.
Your mind is frustrated because it wants to read, but it
It
can't.
wants to.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
because it wants to vocalize.
Right. But my speed reading doesn't stop with the reading. I have 3 more runs. What I do is, if the book is really good, if it's 8 and above,
That lands.
so the 4th step is to do a mind map.
Yeah, good
I
for
do
you.
a mind map.
Brilliant. I live on mind maps.
5th step is to do an action plan to implement it. Because why you have a mind map, you want to implement it.
Right.
So you do an action plan, then you start implementing it and consulting the book if you want it and when you want it. That's mine.
That was it. Speed reading by Andrei Правилом.
Enjoy.